German Chancellor Merz said today that his government will not currently recognize a Palestinian state, calling it not the right step at this time. Speaking in Berlin alongside Jordan's King Abdullah, Merz instead pressed Israel to urgently improve Gaza's humanitarian crisis. Let's listen in to his full statement.
Die Anerkennung eines palästinensischen Staates betrachten wir gegenwärtig aber nicht als den richtigen Schritt. Es kann einer der letzten Schritte auf dem Weg zur Verwirklichung einer Zwei-Staaten-Lösung sein. Die Bundesregierung plant insofern nicht, kurzfristig einen palästinensischen Staat anzuerkennen. Für uns steht im Vordergrund, überfällige erste Schritte zu den dringendsten Fragen zu erreichen.
He announced that 2 German military aircraft could begin airdropping aid from Jordan to Gaza as soon as Wednesday. This is a small but important signal, Merz said, while warning against any further expulsions or annexations in the West Bank. Meanwhile, Merz also said that Germany, France, and the UK are considering a joint foreign minister visit to Israel next Thursday to press Tel Aviv directly for more aid access. Here's what he had to say.
Wir werden wahrscheinlich am Donnerstag der nächsten Woche die 3 Außenminister bitten, aus Frankreich, Großbritannien und Deutschland gemeinsam nach Israel zu reisen und die Position der 3 Staaten, der 3 Regierungen vorzutragen. Und wir behalten uns selbstverständlich weitere Beratungen und auch weitere Beschlussfassungen dazu vor. Wir gehen aber davon aus, dass die israelische Regierung durchaus bereit ist anzuerkennen, dass jetzt etwas geschehen ist.
Israel, which launched a daily pause in fighting this week, has allowed hundreds of trucks into Gaza, but aid agencies say it is not enough. King Abdullah echoed that view, calling airdrops a drop in the ocean and urging for more land-based aid. Germany, a close ally of Israel, has recently increased its criticism of the offensive that followed Hamas's October 7th attack, 2023 attack. Now we go back to our guest discussion with John Rossomondo. He's the president of Viking Research Associates and geopolitical analyst. Thank you, John, for staying with us.
Thank you.
Now, Chancellor Merz's refusal to recognize a Palestinian state, it's different from France's push to recognize a Palestinian state. So how can this stir a diverse reaction from other countries in Europe, and how should governments navigate these sensitive issues in public statements?
Well, all I have to say is that France has a large Muslim population that has been agitating Paris to recognize a Palestinian state. The large Muslim populations across Europe are agitating for this, but we saw in 2005 what happens if you leave territory to the Palestinians. I mean, Hamas overthrew the Palestinian Authority in 2006 and decided to turn Gaza into a terrorist emirate that led all the way to where we're at now with this intractable problem of the siege in Gaza and so forth.
And John, now public perception and crisis, looking at crisis management, Chancellor Merz is calling for Israel to address the humanitarian crisis instead of focusing or recognizing Palestinian as a separate state. How do you think this approach will affect Germany's image in the international community?
Well, I don't think that it will have much of an impact on Germany's reputation. I think that there's a lot of fog of war going on in terms of who's not allowing aid to reach the people in Gaza. The Israelis blame the UN and aid agencies for not bringing aid in. The Israelis point out that the UN relies on Hamas supported blue police in Gaza, and that the Israelis say that the Hamas is looting the aid. So I think that there's a lot of very confused narratives going on right now.
Yes, thank you so much, John Morsomando, for joining us and sharing your insight all the way from Washington, D.C. Now we move on to our next news. France and Saudi Arabia are leading a two-day United